The role of women in promoting voluntary medical male circumcision uptake. Research reveals the important role played by women in influencing men to undergo circumcision. Women are also motivated to convince men to undergo male circumcision because of the benefits associated with them, such as reduction of HIV transmission and cervical cancer. New research shows that the brain works extra hard to stabilize our vision, despite our fluttering eyes. When our eyeballs roll back in their sockets during a blink, they don't always return to the same spot when we reopen our eyes. Our speculation is that this is some kind of trade-off. In the past, you needed to resist some kind of pathogen, and the trade-off or sacrifice you have to make is increased responsiveness to non-pathogenic allergens. Cool room temperature inhibited cancer growth in mice. Mice acclimatized to temperatures of 4 degrees Celsius had significantly slower tumor growth and lived nearly twice as long compared with mice in rooms of 30 degrees Celsius because they were burning more brown fat. A dramatic fireworks display can be the highlight of a summer. It also can provide a feast for the senses. Bright colors delight the eye. Thunderous booms and whistles surprise the ear. If you're close to the show, you can feel the pressure waves that ripple from each exploding shell. What produces these effects are familiar to neuroscientists: external light and dark signals that help set our daily, or circadian, rhythms, clock genes that act as internal timekeepers, and neurons that signal to one another through connections called synapses. Cloud seeding, a form of weather modification, is a way of attempting to change the amount of precipitation that comes from clouds. Cloud seeding is carried out by dispersing substances into the air, but it also occurs due to ice nucleates in nature, most of which are bacterial in origin. Even in the age of personal computers, calculators are still essential in accounting jobs. In addition, calculators with graphing capabilities have begun to be used in education. Intangible assets perform a number of distinctive functions in the life of each company. Firstly, they witness the prosperity of the firm in its good name. Such a position allows human resource management to employ professional workers and increase labor productivity. If you do experience a motorcycle crash, be aware the other driver will most likely blame you for the accident. This includes the road conditions, any skid marks, road signs, construction, and anything else that may have contributed to the accident. The slight decline in drug overdose deaths in 2018 coincides with Chinese regulations on the powerful opioid carfentanil, rather than the result of domestic U.S. efforts to curb the epidemic, a new analysis reveals. Researchers have found a way to convert the aromatic substance vanillin into a redox-active electrolyte material for liquid batteries. The technology is an important step towards ecologically sustainable energy storage. Territory is an area of land or space that belongs to someone or a group. It's like your home turf or where you have control. People, animals, and countries all have territories. Think of it as your special piece of the world that you can call your own. One famous subcontinent is India, which has its own culture and identity within the bigger continent of Asia. Subcontinents have unique features and are often seen as distinct regions within a larger landmass. Teaching is when someone helps another person learn new things. It's like sharing knowledge and skills. Teachers use methods like explaining, showing examples, and giving assignments to help students understand and grow. Teaching can happen in schools, at home, or even in everyday life when people share what they know with others. A chef is a skilled cook who prepares delicious meals. Chefs can work in restaurants, hotels, or even at home. They know how to use various ingredients and cooking techniques to create tasty dishes. Chefs often design menus and are experts in making food not only taste great but also look appealing. Scholarships are like special gifts of money that help students pay for their education. They are given to students who show talent, hard work, or a particular interest in a subject. Scholarships can cover some or all of the costs of school, like tuition and books. Worship is when people show their respect, love, or devotion to a god or something they deeply believe in. It often involves rituals, prayers, and ceremonies. Worship can take place in places like churches, temples, or even at home. Regular physical activity is important in reducing the risk of chronic diseases, such as heart disease and stroke, obesity, diabetes, and some forms of cancer. Prolonged exposure to loud noise alters how the brain processes speech, potentially increasing the difficulty in distinguishing speech sounds, according to neuroscientists. Exposure to intensely loud sounds leads to permanent damage of the hair cells, which act as sound receivers in the ear.